Hi, I'm Betty Sue O'Brien. I am the Vice President of IIPA, the International Iridology Practitioners Association, and I have been asked to make a video for our instructors to talk to them about iridology and about our association. And so I'd just like to take a couple of minutes of your time today, probably no more than 5 minutes, to go over a couple of things that we as the Board of Directors have been discussing that we think is important to the future of this organization. Number one, I've been asked to be a coordinator of instructors. We've had several instructors, coordinators through the years. Mickey Jones last year had webinars to try to tell people about some of the changes in IIPA. And I know of various others that have worked at great length, very hard, working with our instructors. And I am just honored to be following in the footsteps of these great iridologists. I've met some of you, some not, and many of you have probably been in this organization and in this field longer even than I have. But the thing that we share, the thing we have in common, is the love for iridology, is the love for the study and the practice of looking into a person's eyes, looking at the blueprint and their genetics, and looking at what would it take to help this person get well. And I know the thrill of trying to help them either follow the doctor's plan, find a new nutritional program to follow, or just guide them how they can become a healthier, better person. Well, I'm here today to clarify some matters and then to suggest others to you. The economy has hit all of us, and nonprofit organizations are some of the worst hit in a failing economy. You may not realize that, as I didn't for a long time, that IIPA is a nonprofit organization. And as a nonprofit, that's one place where people quit donating early on when there are economic issues. If we are going to continue to thrive, even in this economic environment, and I believe that IIPA can thrive in any environment, then it is up to us, the instructors, to support our organization. Now, last year at the symposium in Texas, it was a wonderful, small symposium, but it was absolutely fantastic. The speakers were out of this world. We all learned a great deal. But after the symposium, the board of directors stayed several days longer. And during that time, they came to the conclusion and made the decision to lower the membership fees, to change the way that students were assessed, and to give some of that opportunity back to the instructors. They felt that as professionals, the instructors would be able to not only administer the test, but also to grade it. And in doing that, that the instructors would be able to receive the payment that the students were previously paying to IIPA. It was understood at that time that the instructors would continue to have their students send the $49 student membership fee into the organization. Unfortunately, that is not what has happened. Many instructors are teaching classes and leaving it to the students to send that money in, and they're just not doing it. I mean, we know our students are hit with a lot of fees. We know that they have books to buy, they have iridology equipment and cameras, but being a member of a professional organization, regardless of what organization you choose, is of utmost importance, and supporting it with the membership fees is how we make an almost all volunteer group function, because there are just operating expenses that go along with any organization. Now, prior to the time that I joined the board, which was just a year or so ago, I didn't even know that the board had responsibilities such as twice a month meetings, going to the symposium site before the symposium to ensure that the rooms were right, that the lighting was adequate, that this was the hotel we want to make sure we have the symposium at. And so we are all going to Las Vegas next month to make sure that you have a great symposium. And by the way, you won't be paying for that. Each board member pays his or her own way to this group meeting so that these plans can be drawn up and made. Now, some of you might have missed the meetings that were held last year when this information was disseminated, and as a consequence, you may not know what the steps are today. Now, of course, as an instructor, you have freedom to choose many things about your classes and how they're taught and the length of them, etc. We know that we have certain hours to get in, but we all know we put in extra hours outside of those. But the first thing that we ask of you is that you consider including that $49 membership fee for students in your fees for the class. You could either bump your fees up $50 or you could include it and then pay it to IIPA. Since IIPA is a nonprofit, it might be possible that those payments could be considered a tax deduction. We'll have to look into that and find out if that's a possibility. But if the students paid you for the course and you paid IIPA the membership fee, I don't know. Just we'll have to think about that one. But when IIPA receives that membership fee, then it is the job of the organization, of the board, and of Patty in the central office to make sure that we keep those students. We want to keep them as lifelong members. We want to see them become instructors themselves someday if they so aspire. But we also want to ensure that they are staying on top of the latest information in the field. And so it is up to us as instructors also to try to encourage our students to attend the symposium. The symposium fees are low. It's several days of excellent information, top-notch speakers, and more than anything, I find just sharing that time with like-minded people. I learned so much. I have my notebook out the whole time I'm at the IIPA conference, just jotting down notes, writing what people are saying, how they handle certain things in their families and in their organizations. Sorry, not families, but organizations. Now, as for the teacher, when you join IIPA, you're listed on the website as a certified instructor, and you are free to list your classes there. And I encourage each of you to get on that website and let people know just how many classes are available for certification. Now, when I started out teaching, I didn't belong to IIPA, and students would often say, what certification do I get? And I would say, well, you get a certificate from Pathway Health, which is my organization. But now I can say, I am a diplomat instructor with the International Iridology Practitioners. That not only sounds great, it is great. It means that we have met certain standards, that we have gone before our peers, and we have demonstrated that we have a working knowledge of modern, current-day iridology. Now, this organization has been around in one way or the other for over 30 years. Think of the greats that have gone before us, and Dr. Bernard Jensen and Ellen Tart Jensen, Harry Wolf, Bill Caradonna, Dave Carpenter. Now, those are ones in the United States. What about Gino in Canada? What about Daniele Laurito in Italy? There are so many, the great Germans that have gone before us. And all of these have been contributors to the field of iridology. I personally studied with an iridologist that is not an IIPA certified instructor, but one of the most brilliant people that I know. And she is now working with IIPA to get her students certified. And each of us has a duty to our organization to reach out to other iridologists to encourage them to belong to a professional organization that has standards as high as the standards that we have in the International Iridology Practitioners Association. So please let Patty and the central office know that you're going to help us bring IIPA back to the highest standards, to the highest position in the field that it has ever had. We are so proud to be members of the board of directors and to be able to work with Patty from the office in Birmingham. We don't want this organization to be a victim of the economy or a victim of the new IIPA, the changes that gave instructors more ways to earn income, and actually more ways to encourage students. And I just urge you to ask your students to join and to give it to them. Give it to them as a benefit and let them know how important it is. Thank you. Have a great rest of the summer and a great fall, and I'll see you in February in Las Vegas. Thanks.